everything's put together, installed and good. I just gotta replace that baby and then take it for a drive. Sweet. Well, there it is. Dang thing came back. Saw the engine light come on again. That is unfortunate. But I have a plan on how to permanently fix this once and for all. So this is my cousin's Vinnie's car, and since I'm working for free, he elected to have me work as long as it takes to fix it. Doesn't care how long it takes. Fix it. So that's what I got to do. So there is a plan. Let me get you in there a little bit closer just to show you a few things. So recapping some things, the EGR valve is back there. The EGR pipe underneath all this stuff is here, and it goes into the air intake down there, as you recall from the last video. What I need to do is, again, just take all this stuff off. I got to take it all off again, the air duct, everything. Get access to the EGR and the water passage. I'll explain what that is. And then, again, get access to the intake manifold right by the throttle body. And I have to clean out all these passages. Well, I have most of the stuff out. I got the air duct out, intercooler off. All right, I have the EGR valve off. So this is where I have to clean. I want to show you what this is back there. So you should be able to see that there's two square ports. Let's see. So I'm going to clean, I think, between here and between that bottom port. Spray in here. So let's cram something in here. Hey, there we are. Look at that. All right. Scrubby. All right, well, that's open. Now if I go cram something in the bottom, I can feel it's bending around some passages. Interesting. Schmutzy, but... So that's in the bottom. So I've cleaned out as much as I can, crammed the stuff in there. Now I am going to take off this water outlet. It's gonna make a mess, and that's fine. I'm in this far. I just got to get that out so I make sure everything is clean. So I got the hoses off. So this is 8mm socket, and there's 4. So I'm just gonna crack these all. 1, 2, here. Oh yeah, this. So the problem is breaking this 250,000 miles of crud. So right there is where the hose, meets the metal, and I'm just getting right at the interface and working on it. It will eventually come out. Got it off. You can hopefully hear it's just draining. I got buckets underneath. I'm just gonna let it drain and then go back at it and try to find that bolt. Somehow we have to get access to it. I'll figure that out. All right, so here is, I got the mirror. That's that last one, I believe. Just socket I was using was too long. So let me show you how I ended up having to do this. Got to put on a little wobbly bit. And I went in from here. It's already out, but once you get it set and in there, it was like this, and then I just got a little extension, put it on there, and backed it out. After all that, let's get back to taking this baby off. Here we go. Another one. Oh, there it is. The third one. Now watch for a gasket, because there's probably a gasket that's going to fall, and I'm going to wonder where the hell it went. Bolt 4. And, oh, there's gasket. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, now we're cooking. Take that, Mazda. So, all right, let's take this and let's go to my office. So here it is. Look at that, you son of a gun. So there's the gasket. Gently take this off. Come on. There we are. And then there, if you can even see, oh, that is kind of gunked. A little bit gunked. But I'm going to clean that out thoroughly. And then we're going to go look at where this interfaces the head and see how schmutzed up that is. Well, there it is. It's gunked up. But we're gonna clean that out. Here it is, all rebuilt. So from here on out, I'm just gonna put this all back together before I forget what I did. Button that all up, then we'll move on. Oh, there it is. It's in there. I don't know what the torque spec is. Snugged them up tightly with my 1/4" ratchet and called it a day. Now we're moving on to getting off the throttle body. So basically these 2 hoses and I think 4 screws. I think for the most part, that's it. So these bolts are again a 8mm. I got the connector disconnected from down there. That's a little bit broken, but that's okay. First. All right, one. Okay, let's ease one last one here. 3, 4. I want to be careful too. There is should be another gasket in there, and according to the service manual, it's a replace gasket. So I don't want to replace it. Ooh. Jeez, I'm getting lucky. Some things are just coming right off nice and easy. You know, I got that carbon buildup. That is all right. Let's gently. Oh, yeah. Oh, we can use that. That's metal. No problemo. We will reuse. Oh, big reveal. Yay! There it is right there. I'm hoping you can see it. Ugh, what a mess. That is nasty. Sticking a rag in there. So, you know what I'm going to try to do first is spray some carb cleaner. See if I can shoot it right down that hole and see if it'll come out there. Nothing really coming out. Interesting. I'm just going to put some compressed air. Let's just see what happens. Let's see. Keep an eye down there. That's what. Come on. Oh, there we go. Chunk of something came out. So, that is good. Try spraying this down there again and see if stuff comes out. There we go. Look at that. That's what I wanted to see. Hot diggity. Come on. Go get in there. Get. The gum is right there. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna set you aside. You just need to know I'm just gonna keep sticking stuff in there and chemicals until I can get a wire brush or a tube cleaner all the way through. All right. There was a lot of schmutz. I got it through. There we are. So I'm just gonna play with this some more chemicals. I am confident now the passageway is clear. I just want to get it really clear. There's still just a lot of gummy goo. See in there? There's the brush. You know, so it's time to put everything back together. The throttle body has been cleaned. That port down there is as clean as I can get it. I believe it's plenty of airflow. The EGR valve, everything up to the head is clear, and what is beyond the head, I'll be honest, that's the only failure point I can think of. But it's all there. It's gonna put it all back together now and take it for a drive, and hopefully. Ring, ring, answer phone. To my office, walk. Ring, ring, no one's home. All right, now we're gonna take it out for a little drive. Take out the garbage, bring in the cash, put on your pantsuit, everybody work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take out the garbage, bring in the cash, put on your pantsuit, everybody work. 1, 2, 3, To fully understand where I cleaned and why I cleaned it, I want to quickly go over the EGR flow and show in more detail what's going on. So this is an image of a 2.3 liter turbo for the CX7. What you will see, the EGR valve, we've seen that before. Here is the EGR pipe, and over here is where the pipe connects to the manifold. What happens is exhaust gas starts cylinder head when the exhaust gases come out. There is a tiny port in the cylinder head. Out of the port in the cylinder head, the exhaust gases flow into a water outlet. I'll explain that more in a bit. In this water outlet, which normally carries coolant, is a passage for the exhaust gas. That exhaust gas flows into the EGR valve. Once the EGR valve is commanded to open by the computer when it gets certain conditions, it says open up, and we want to allow exhaust gas into the intake. The valve opens and the exhaust gas flows back into the water passage and into the EGR pipe. Goes through the EGR pipe, down, 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 boom, and into the intake manifold. And this is where you saw me cleaning before. Let me explain a little bit more detail. Now I want to bring this in. So this is another image of the motor stripped down, just the cylinder head, block itself. But what I want to point out is right here. This is the passageway from the cylinder head that the exhaust gases flow out and into the water passage I just described. So let's take a closer look as well at the water passage. So this is the water passage right here. This is where the EGR pipe, this thing up here, right there. That's where the pipe connects to. This is the backside of the water passage. And what you can see is this hole right here. That's where the exhaust gas comes into. So it flows from there into the backside of this water outlet and goes through the water outlet, goes boom like that into the EGR valve. So let's bring schematic. Here's a picture of the EGR valve. Now you see gas flows into the EGR, boom. There's a internal valve inside this thing, out and into the pipe. And then the pipe goes down to the intake manifold. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at that. This is the intake manifold stripped down all by itself. And I want to point out something that you need to understand the bigger picture, what's going on. Pay attention right there. Inside the intake manifold, this is behind the throttle body, which attaches here, 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 and here. And what I want you to see is, as I change the contrast, you're going to see the inlet port appear. So pay attention. I'm going to increase, and you can see right about there. Right there, good image. You can see that is the inlet port. So I'm going to bring that back down. Essentially, what was really happening is between the EGR pipe inlet into the intake manifold and the outlet there, right here, that was all gummed up and full of carbon. And I believe that was, if not completely blocked, 90-some% blocked, just like an artery. And that was the main restriction of the gas flow. And that is what I really had to clean out in order to get this to work. So the important things to clean are, let me back this up. Okay. So the important thing to clean is from here, that hole through this passageway to the EGR valve. And then on the other side, from this passageway through the water outlet to the other valve. So when you see the EGR valve, you see there's two big square ports. One's an inlet, one's an outlet. So this goes into the EGR inlet, and this goes to the EGR outlet, and you got to clean all the schmutz and carbon out of those passageways. They're all internal to this piece. And that is one place where all the carbon is getting gunked up. And then the other place, and the other important place, is in the intake manifold, which you just saw some video. Ring, ring, answer phone.